morning, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I'm Justin Wise, your host, lead analyst, and senior mentor at Cryptocurrency.com. All right, guys. So we've got some exciting bullish activity coming in here over really starting during the not the Asian session, but really starting during the London Open session. So I've been watching the market since I've been up. Price is pretty interesting. Looking to take a position to the upside. I actually took a position to the upside. So we're going to see how this breaks out. We're going to go to tensor charts. I'm going to see that we're at a wall right now. If we can break through that, I don't really see any problem between 5,300. Now that's an intraday trade. So when we go down and actually look at the trending trades, there's not really an indication to be going long on a trending basis yet for a long-term position. I haven't gotten any of those indications yet. So primary account's still going to remain dormant for right now. And we'll go over those levels as well. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let's scroll up here. Let's say good morning to all the regulars. Good to see you guys. Jurgen Ernst, Andrew Adams. Cryptonio says, we will never see 4 again. It's never going to happen. That 4,000, it's just that those 4 integers, those 4 numbers are impossible to ever see on the Bitcoin chart. It will never happen again. I hope so, man. Nothing would make me happier than if Bitcoin went absolutely parabolic. Ryan McCutcheon. Johnny Valentine, good to see you. Karab Craig. Let's see here. Who else we got in here this morning? Scott, good to see you. It's hard. How are you doing, my man? I'm doing well. Stephen Hyatt, greetings from sunny London. Oh, man, well, it's not too bad here either. It's looking pretty good. King Bowser Koopa, good morning to you, my good sir. Ron Legato as well. Hope you enjoy that t-shirt I just dropped in the mail to you. And we got Da Vinci in here as well. Good to see you, man. Great call, by the way. I'm going to highlight that later, but Crypto Da Vinci making a call on that Matic token. Easy 30% for the Kraken cryptocurrency trading community. Awesome, awesome job. Thank you so much. Alex Valieve shorted 75x waiting for liquidations. Nice, man. Nice. Well, we saw a ton. If you guys were watching the charts just about an hour or two ago, it was crazy. I mean, you saw short liquidations coming in. And then you saw long liquidations coming in. So could you imagine, I mean, the 5 million liquidations, 6 million liquidation, 2 million liquidation. Can you imagine being short 5 million contracts? Price break, because you're shorting resistance. Okay, smart. Price breaks resistance. You get liquidated on your short only to immediately market buy 6 million contracts long, and then price dumps and liquidates you again. Can you imagine being a degen like that? I mean, there's smart ways and bad ways to trade. The way that the whales trade on BitMEX. And actually, again, as you guys know, looking into some of that deep research, looking at the order book, we've actually got access to data a little bit more in depth than what is currently available through tensor charts and Addis. Now, it's a little difficult to sift through, so that's what we're going to be working on for the next few months. All right, announcements. Thursday, we will not be doing the live stream. I have to go down and visit my father in the hospital again. I also have to go through some training as far as how to handle his medical device that he's going to have for the rest of his life. Basically, again, like I said, he's going to be a cyborg, but he's doing well. The recovery is going nicely. He's not feeling too tip-top, but medically he's doing quite fine. Physically, he's recovering quite well from the surgery. So thank you guys so much for asking about that and all your letters of support and messages of support. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. CryptoMeister asks, when you go to VPVR, can you share your settings and why? Mine are really clunky. Sure, we can go over the VPVR. I typically don't use it. I used to, when I first started using the VPVR quite a while ago, a couple years ago, I really liked it. And I really went in deep with my settings because with any indicator, you want to go really in depth with your settings. I honestly find that VPVS is typically going to be better for your day trading setups and scalps. But yeah, we can definitely go over the settings that we have. All right, so Thursday we won't be doing the live stream, but instead, don't worry guys, I got something for you. Thursday, we're going to do a premiere. I'm going to set it to roll, and then I will be probably on the road at the time. I might not be able to interface as much as I normally do because I'll be driving, and driving and texting is illegal, but I got the voice to text and all that. But I'm going to be premiering the new Trading Crypto 101 video on the Ichimoku, okay? I've seen lots of other Ichimoku videos out there, and I'm not going to, again, you guys know that I don't cast shade or aspersions on anybody else who's out there doing what they do in the market. So we don't do any of that. But what I have done is, as you know, I made my own Ichimoku indicator because I wanted features that were lacking in other implementations that I found on TradingView. And so I created my own. And it has a multi-time frame feature. So, and again, I just got a message this morning from somebody who uses my Ichimoku script quite commonly, and they were sharing how they use it and how they've been successful with it. So shout out to you, my good man. You know who you are. And that was a really good chart you've been posting, by the way, in the lounge. actually in the leads channel up in the premium. So anyways, that and in the video, I'm going to break down how to think about Ichimoku, what it actually represents, and then realistic ways to trade it, right? Because analysis is fine and good, but we want to know actionable information, right? I'm interested in actionable indicators that actually give you, that can actually be back tested and give you good results, right? So that will be coming out on Thursday. I'm going to break that down. I'm going to finish shooting the last of the video today, and then tomorrow I'll edit it and it'll be ready to go on Thursday. Also simultaneously finishing up Minx. I'm all done with Minx, as far as the code goes. And now I'm just doing little tweaks in the strategy testing and working on the aesthetics as how I want to present it. I've seen, again, a lot of indicators out there. People like to make these really, oh, my indicator's super awesome. It's really neat, but you can't read it. You can't decipher it. And they're pretty unclear about how it actually works. So I try to make, again, indicators that it's no nonsense around here, guys. Like, you want information, you want to know how to trade it, you want to know how to use it. So pretty excited. That should be coming out here really, really soon. All right. So anyways, guys, as you know, we're going to get to the charts here. Let's get over to the charts and let's see basically what we're looking at, right? So I'll give you the setup that I took on the intraday scalp right here. We're going to see how it plays out. So we've got sensor charts open up right here. And what do we see? Obviously, we've got VWAP coming in. And I've been watching this a little bit closely. As you can see, well, you actually can't see it because it's on my actual trading terminal over here that I don't have hooked up because it's literally on a separate computer that's run through VPS, right, through the network. So it's kind of a pain it would be a pain if I wanted to broadcast it. But regardless, anyways, I've got ByBit and Deribit pulled up over here. And I was basically watching the 5-minute chart here as well. What's interesting is that the actual level on Deribit, which Deribit actually has VWAP, unlike BitMEX. BitMEX doesn't allow you to just put on VWAP there. And obviously, Tensor Charts has a little bit better VWAP. The VWAP is actually different on Tensor Charts. So you have to understand that these different platforms are going to calculate these levels a little bit differently. So here we've got Tensor Charts. What did I see basically? Again, I've got my counter set up just the way that I want them. And basically, we've been seeing this nice bullish push throughout most of the morning, throughout most of the London Open session. Price did come back down here and tag VWAP on the 5-minute chart. We also got a nice spike in selling pressure right there. Also looking at the order book, seeing them really beef up toward the sell side at that point in time. But just based on good statistics of price being likely to be unable to break through VWAP on the retest, and also coming pretty close to our important 5-minute levels. So we'll see if this trade plans out. Not again, when I take intraday scalps, price has already moved favorably in my position. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to take much of a loss on it, is basically my setup for looking at short-term trades like this. Again, we do have this pretty significant wall here with the historical order book right here. If we're able to break through that wall, which we're testing it right now, getting a little bit of initial rejection. Again, buy side still beefed up quite nicely compared to the sell side right now, in my opinion, because I've been seeing the sell side pop up and pop up and pop up and pop up. And we've already seen lots of shorts and longs get liquidated pretty quickly. So we saw longs get liquidated, we saw shorts get liquidated, and overall, if we actually look at what's a little bit more interesting to me, we actually can go over to the to TradingView and see basically what I've been looking at for a while. So this is CC-EMA, and again, one thing that's interesting about CC-EMA and my take on it, and it seems like, did I lose the restream chat? Let me give that a nice refresh. Hooray, the chat is waiting for new messages. All right. So if we actually look at what I was looking at, obviously we've got, if we go to our daily chart right here, the things that I've been talking about for a while is obviously our daily baseline, the level that has been suppressing price. I've back tested this. And Ichimoku does very well also, but you're going to find a beautiful confluence between your baselines for your 13-period exponential moving average and your 20-period Tenkan-san, as well as your 55-period exponential moving average and your 60-period Kijun, okay, which are the default settings in my Ichimoku indicator if you guys want to use that. Also the default settings in my CC-EMA script if you guys want to go use that. It's tv.crackingcryptocurrency.com. They're free public indicators. You can use them how you want. Funny yet? Good to see you. Hello on Twitch. So anyways, so this is basically what I've been watching at for a while. You guys know this. Now, you want to be a little cautious on the first break above your baseline. So what I've actually been doing is I'm down on the 3-hour chart, which is a little bit of a more tradable time frame when we're looking for intraday trades. Quite honestly, most people want to focus on the 5-minute chart, which is fine. Like I was looking at critical levels on the 5-minute chart. Eli back, what's going on, man? Super busy day. Please check Haven. Of course, we'll check Haven for you, man. Always willing to check Haven. How's it doing? I haven't really been looking at it because I'm not actively trading in it, but we will definitely take a look at you, man. Good to see you, brother. All right. You tell I'm excited this morning. I got my fast talking going on. I don't even have any water around here. What should happen What should happen if I get really thirsty during today's show? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Anyways, let's go ahead and take Ichimoku off here for a second. So anyways, we're on the 3-hour chart, and we have CC/EMA set in the multi-time frame feature for the daily time frame, okay? And all I'm focused on right now is my 8-period exponential and my 13-period exponential and my 55-period exponential, right? Because we can see just how beautifully over time, and again, you can backtest this if you'd like. How well the 13-period and the 55-period have called tops and bottoms, local tops, local bottoms, and overall fantastic zones to long or short from. And even on the 3-hour chart, if you're just trading something as simple as a moving average break, you can see how well that is compared to not having a strategy at all. Just using this strategy will do pretty well. And again, one of the things you want to know and be aware of with any trending indicator, which a moving average, if you're going to be trading moving averages, is a trending indicator, is you're going to need to have something to keep you out of this, okay? Because when you have periods of trend following strategies are by default typically going to give you more profit in the long run, right? They're typically safer strategies, and they're easier to build upon. They're much easier to backtest, by the way. And you want a good, solid trend following strategy, right? In my opinion, that should generally be, whatever your strategy is going to be, reversals within the trend following strategies. But if you're going to be a manual trader, you definitely want to be on the correct side of the market. Alex Philippe says, dump it, man, 4,400 to 4,700. Let's go, baby. Let's get this money going. Okay. Well, it would be okay anyways, because I still have a portion of my short open on my main account, right? So we're talking about my secondary account, opened up the long on that test of the VL. We're going to see if that intraday trade plays out here as well. Going to give myself about, we'll talk about those levels when we actually start zooming down to the lower time frames. But I digress. It's Hard says YouTube should use default smashed like button, and people should have the option to dislike, because people love default settings and they are lazy too. That would be fantastic, guys. Go ahead and write YouTube. I would appreciate that. S. Malal says, can you please explain what baseline defines? Sure. So baseline baseline to me is going to be your indication of which direction the dominant trend is. Okay. To reduce it to its most simplest elements, it's very similar to the Kumo cloud. It's very similar to, again, I like to use the exponential moving averages. I've been back testing that lately, and it works quite well. So basically what I've been focusing on for really, I'd say for a long, long time is back testing, all different kinds of strategies. And that's really my, that's really my jam. That's really what I like doing, right? A lot of people are obsessed with price action. I have a good understanding of how I like to trade price action. Again, I've talked about bullish breakers. I've talked about bearish breakers. I've talked about bullish and bearish order blocks and how to trade them. And that's really all you need as far as price action goes. Other things to keep in mind are obviously pools of liquidity, zones above equal highs, zones above equal lows, for example, or anytime you're going to be testing a range high or a range low or a long wick, for example, on high liquidity, on high momentum. Those are always areas that you want to be on the lookout for. The problem is that you do enter into the realm of subjectivity when you get in there, right? And the propensity to make mistakes and to think that you're going to be taking this, because by definition, if you're looking at those zones, you are by definition looking for a reversal trade, right? So if you're targeting, right, liquidity above equal highs, for example, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying by definition, you are looking for a reversal trade against the trend, right? And that is the highest risk trade that you can take. So my recommendation, because again, I know that most of the individuals that are watching these videos, that are following me, and again, so I want to qualify that as well, because a lot of the people coming into the group, a lot of people just in the Discord are already showing fantastic improvement, or are really impressing me with what they're doing. I get DMs all the time. I see charts all the time. And I see the progression of people that go from, hey man, I've got these indicators on the chart, and sometimes I look at this one, and sometimes this one tells me this, and this one's kind of good sometimes for this thing. And then I'm like, whoa, no. That's not going to work. You need to develop a strategy, right? And if this, then that, right? So when this happens, I do this, right? And then figure those rules out, and then use a risk management system, and then backtest your strategy and tell me if it works. And that's all I care about. And if it works, great, right? People ask me a lot like, hey, what do you think of this indicator? What do you think of this indicator? And I tell them, I don't know. I don't know unless you put it in a strategy and backtest it, right? Because I can't do the work for you, right? So what I do to the best of my ability is teach people the right fundamentals for building their strategy so that they can fish for the rest of their lives, right? So that they can utilize this strategy for the rest of their lives. Because if you develop the strategy, if you take the time and put the effort into building a system that you know works, why do you know it works? Because you have rules. Because you have rules, you can just go in a chart and you can just go, okay, I'm going to start scrolling back. Oh, my signal gave me a buy here. Did it hit my stop loss or did it hit my take profit? And you just keep a spreadsheet, right? And you go back a year, 2 years. It takes a while, but it's worth it. Because at the end of that time, you're going to know, boom, this thing works. And then you just forward test it, small capital account for about 6 months. And if you're confident in what you've developed, then you throw some big money at it. FUD news coming out have to do with Tether. There's new FUD news? Whoa, hold on. Let me get Crypto Panic open over here. I didn't even know. Crypto exchange Changely launches premium over-the-counter desk. So-called Satoshi Nakamoto mining crypto triggers fear of new Bitcoin cash assault. New York Stock Exchange operators' hesitation may be a crypto blessing, backed out. Ooh, Bitcoin holds strong. Time for another altcoin boom. Bitfinex token IEO Neo 3.0 from Mr. Crypto Zombie over there. Shout out to K-Dubs. Hedge with some options. I believe it, man. I said last night, so this is what I said last night in the members lounge right before I went to bed. I said, hey guys, I'm going to close out because again, we had our shorts open. We were targeting this, we were targeting these wicks right here. So a lot of the guys got filled on this candle. A lot of guys probably got filled on this candle and anywhere around here. And we were down about right here. And then again, we also had some of us, and me too, on one of my accounts, actually got filled at 50.90 on a short, right? Because we were looking for a momentum breakdown, right? Almost never do I do that, but did the other night, right? And it's okay, it all averages out in the end, right? So, but we were sitting right around here last night, and I was about to go to bed, and I said, hey guys, I'm going to close my short out. Overall, it's break even because, again, we've taken some profit from the higher entry, taking a little bit of loss in the lower entry, but I think we're going to have a pretty volatile movement here, moving into the midnight hours, and I'm not going to be up to catch it. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out my short. And I woke up to this. Nothing that really made my alarms go off. Nothing really insane or crazy. But again, I'm glad that I didn't suffer this drawdown. And so now we're going to take a stab. I do absolutely feel what you're saying, that we're going to have a volatile movement. But here's the thing. Bitcoin, it's generally a lot of this. And when you see a lot of this, this is what really set me off, that I was like, we're going to see something here pretty soon, guys. Because you're just seeing everything tighten up. You're seeing everything tighten up, right? And you've already been consolidating for a few days. And when you see price action get really, really tight, you know something's probably going to happen, right? And in Bitcoin, it's probably going to be the last thing that you expect. Generally in Bitcoin, it's going to go down and then pump up, or it's going to go up and then pump down. It's going to clear out the stops, man. Valiv, make it rain, dude. Make it rain, man. Thank you so much, brother. Tether admits 74% backed by cash. Hashtag dump it. But if people are going to be exiting Tether, wouldn't they have to be buying Bitcoin? You could really float the argument either way. That's the problem about trading news, right? Is because you know the price is going to react, but you never know if price is going to react positively to the news or against the news. Daniel Bernard says, do I think holding 65 Litecoin would be okay through the bull market or transition off into Bitcoin sooner or later? The only coin that I am comfortable holding in a bear market is Bitcoin. I would never recommend anybody to hold Litecoin or Ethereum or Ripple or Zcash or EOS or Cardano or any of this other stuff, right? It's not that I don't think they're cool, right? I think Ethereum's cool. I don't think it's going to last. I think it's got structural problems. If I had to put a bet on something that probably has some good tech, Cardano's got pretty good tech, right? I like how it's designed from the ground up. But Cardano's price is like iffy right now. It's pretty attractive right now for long. Actually, we're long Cardano, but that really has nothing to do with the fundamentals in the tech. So when we're talking about value investing, right? I'm only going to value invest in something that I believe is going to be worth more in 10 years than it is today, right? Maybe 5 years, but 10 years is that nice sweet spot, right? Because again, I want to invest in something that I can pass down to my children. Now, are there things that you can invest in for 6 months to a year to 2 years? Can you take smaller positions in your investment? Absolutely, you can. And when the market conditions are right, like the market conditions, we can just go look at any altcoin, right? We can just look at the market conditions for Litecoin, right? Daily chart, look at your baseline, right? Get some trending indications. right? Now, people are going to say like, well, bro, it's not that easy, man. You don't know like price is going to burst up, right? Okay, so on the daily time frame, when you have a trend following strategy, which I've developed painstakingly over time, and all your indicators fire, you know that you're going to have a good chance. And when you're going to get, when you go in, it's either going to play out a little bit or you're going to take a small loss, right? So with good qualification indicators, right, with good confirmation indicators, they're going to keep you out of the majority of the bad positions. And they're going to get you into the majority of the good positions, right? And all you need to do with a trend following strategy is catch a good trend, right? Now, the odds that you held this the entire time are slim, but you're not looking to catch the entire move. You're not looking to catch the bottom. You're not looking to catch the top. You're looking to get in at around a good price, and you're looking to sell around a good price, right? And that is, no matter how you want to slice it, anywhere from 50 to 100% valuation, right? So what you're looking for are those good no-brainer trades, right? Those good no-brainer trades. And again, a lot of the times those don't come around that often, right? So you need to be on the lookout for those while you have a strategy that does pretty well in low volatility markets, right? That's why we talk about reversal against the trend strategies as being a reversal trader, but we prefer to take reversals within the dominant trend. Texas Blue ZERP will pump sooner or later. It will, but we've been saying that for a long time. Bitfinex news. So yeah, if I had 65 Litecoin, I would have whatever 65 Litecoin in Bitcoin is. Jürgen says, you've been trolled. Most likely, man. Funny Yet says, I have this strategy that I've discovered. I've made over 10x the money that I started with. It's an AFK auto bet thing, and I've been doing it for a total of 24 hours actively betting. Hey, awesome, man. Yeah, so I have experimented with, actually, so I play blackjack quite well, right? I'm not going to get into how I play blackjack or what I do, but blackjack is one of the few games at the casino that I do like to play, right? It's got the highest probability odds of winning. I also play craps. I'm pretty darn good at craps, but again, I have a strategy when it comes to craps, but you have to understand that you're still pretty much gambling. It's really hard to get a good edge in craps. It's really, really hard. But it is fun. It is fun, and it does have a decent odds of paying. It doesn't have decent odds of paying out. Now, I haven't been to the casino in, oh geez, when's the last time? It's like 6 months ago, right? And when I mean, so I don't go to the casino, right? But when I do, I like to go and have some fun, and I like to play blackjack, right? I'll sit down and play blackjack for about an hour, and I usually walk away with more money than I started with, right? And that's because of the same money management strategy that you can carry with you into trading, right? So one of my earliest mentors was a professional poker player, and that's why money management got imparted into my mind so much, because he just told me it's very simple. It's very simple. Trading, your capital, your bankroll is no different than your poker bankroll, right? As long as you don't lose all your stack, you can continue to play. You can continue to play the game, right? But if you start gouging huge chunks out of your capital, then you're quickly going to be out of the game. So the most important thing is capital preservation, right? It's not profit. It's not, right? This is the biggest mistake that people do. They chase profit, right? They chase profit. No, don't chase profit, right? Chase not losing money, and you'll do okay. If you make your goal to not lose your money, and if you're a break-even trader, you're doing better than 60% of the traders out there, straight up, right? Most of the traders, what's the statistic, right? It's 90, I think it's probably closer to 99% of traders over the course of a year lose money or break even, right? It's very rare to get the results that you want. And this is because the majority of traders have no strategy, have no money management skills, and have no discipline. It's that simple, right? Develop a strategy. I mean, it's not, I say it's that simple, but it really is, right? I mean, you're going to do better if you just do those things. You're starting off with such a better advantage than anybody else in the game, right? Than anybody else in the game. Because you've developed a strategy, you've tested the strategy to make sure it works. You have a system for how much you risk, for where you take profit, and you're disciplined about only doing what your strategy tells you to do. So if you just follow those skills, those rules, you're going to be light years ahead of everybody else out here that's running around like a chicken with their head cut off, because that's what the majority of traders are doing. All these people on crypto Twitter, and again, not casting aspersions or shame on anybody. Crypto Twitter is a rare exception because that place is a cesspool, but there's just a lot of people. Anand says, why 55 over the 50 EMA? Personal preference and back testing. I found that the 55 EMA works better than the 50. Where's the get rich button? It's actually it's right below the screen where you're seeing me. It should be like right down there a little bit. It doesn't say get rich. It actually has a thumbs up button. But if you click that, profits will come, man. Should I single or double click it? You're gonna need to right click it. 20K garlic bread house. What's going on, man? 20,000 ZERP could be life changing in a few years. Good. Upside or downside, maybe. Oh, so I was talking about gambling strategies. Yeah. So Martingale with dice games, I tend to think works pretty well. Martingale with blackjack kind of works, but with dice games, I find high probability of it working. Versace Lion, gambling is a strat. Tether admits stablecoin now 74% backed by cash and equivalents. So what they're saying, that doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense from CoinDesk because let's go look at the article. All right. The OOST stablecoin is only 74% backed by fiat equivalents as of April 30th, says its issuer's general counsel. Tether holds about 2.1 billion cash in short-term securities. Blah, 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 blah. Their lawyer is also general counsel to BitMEX. Well, we knew that already. BitMEX has borrowed more than 600 million. So, okay, I'm no mathematician, but okay, I guess I see what they're saying. I guess that does about add up. So they took 25% of the Tether reserves. Well, if they borrowed more than 600 million, it'd probably be a little bit higher than 25%. But I digress. Okay, numbers seem to kind of actually flesh out. May 3rd, they got to produce some documents. Tether hodlers are not at risk. Sure. Let's see here. Tether does not need to hold $1 for every USDT issued. You know, regardless of the fact that that's what they said they were going to do. Funny Vet, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Let's see here. Hogner wrote in his affidavit that the BitMEX and Tether lending agreements were made for the, excuse me, guys. I had some macaroni before the show. Pardon me. For the protection of the virtual currency market, perhaps underscoring concerns that the two companies compose a significant part of the well, duh. Tether and holders of Tether have a keen interest in ensuring that one of the dominant trading platforms of Tether has sufficient liquidity for normal operations. Right, that's why they've been pulling all their money out of cold storage. He added that any disruption to BitMEX's operations could risk harming Tether as well. Well, sucks for them. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not... I don't think that's anything crazy, dude. I mean, we already knew that. Like, where did the money come from? Like, if they already admitted from those documents released by the Attorney General, which is already blasted all over the news. I mean, we already knew that they already admitted that they took the money out of the Tether reserves. We already knew that it happened. There was no speculation. I mean, I saw stuff where people are like, "It's just FUD, man." It's not FUD, right? It's fact, right? The Tether reserves has made a loan to BitMEX, right? There is less money there now than there was yesterday. Okay. Well, 2 months ago, really, because we're just finding out about this now, which is what I don't like because it's fraudulent. But again, I can understand them not telling anybody. That doesn't excuse their actions. Don't get me wrong. But anyways, so yeah, this is just confirming what we already knew. That's the thing about news, man. They just have to keep posting stuff because they make their money via advertisements. You could exit Tether to USD on Kraken. Yep. The slow creeping up to liquidated shorts, then on to directing. Let's get back over here to tensor charts. All right, price back down at VWAP. No significant buys or sells yet. People that held BNB this bear market are up 4x, but there was really no way to know that back in January 2018. No, there's never any way to know if something's going to go 50, 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x. You never know. You have no idea. You just, get a good trend following strategy and you try to catch the meat of the movement. Get in, you go up, you get in, you get up. CryptoKitty says we're going down, baby. Going down, down. Well, okay, so what would I want to see to exit my long? I'd want to see price close right here under 52.20, maybe even lose 5,200. But let's see if we can tap this liquidity. We got this historical volatility right here, or not volatility. We got this historical big chunk on the order book right here. And taking a nice look over here at the order book, we got the order book pretty chunky around 52.30, 52.20. So we'll see if those orders get pulled or spoofed. Because again, what I've been seeing for the majority of the day is actually these sell orders get spoofed, right? So we'll keep our eye on it. Would I do better to convert all my tether to USDC? I think you'd probably be better to convert your tether to USD, to be quite honest with you, or Bitcoin. But because then you can, if you convert it to Bitcoin, you can just 1x short it and preserve your USD value. Crypto Manat says, can we look at BTC Korean Won and BTC JPY? Sure, man. Wendy says, how about the TK cross on the 8 hour? The next 8 hour will be the monthly. Yep, we are going to be having the beautiful last day of April today. So we're going to have the monthly close. Let's go over and take a look at the monthly chart. How's it going to close? We already know right now. Come on, baby. We don't want BitMEX. Not enough data. What we do want is Bitstamp. Monthly close right there, baby. Price is getting squeezed in between the 13. So basically the same thing that we saw. Basically the same thing that we saw going back to actually the lower time frames on BitMEX right now, right? Or Bitcoin, for example, right? So let's look at our daily EMAs. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Ethereum. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, this is what I was looking at. So Ethereum on BitMEX on the daily right here. Basically the same thing, right? Price getting squeezed below your, and let's get Ichimoku off there, but price getting squeezed below your between your baseline and your 13 EMA, right? Excuse me. Your baseline and your 55 EMA. So pretty interesting. See what happens when I don't have water? Get easily confused. So So kind of the same thing, looking at those, we were looking at those weeklies, we were looking at the levels, all this and that, this and the third. Monthly chart's going to close right here. It's going to close, again, we've had a nice monthly, weekly chart, right? The Heikinashi trend for the monthly did just flip bullish on this candle. Typically, this is when you do want to be, so just basic Ichimoku strategy, right? Or not, excuse me, Heikinashi strategy. When the bars turn green, you're long, and when they turn red or black, or excuse me, or red for a traditional chart, you're going to be exiting the trade, right? And yeah, I mean, we can see this, the monthly trend tends to catch it pretty well, right? What's the better confirmation to keep you out of this chop, right? Because again, here's the last time we were underneath the monthly 13 exponential moving average. Sorry, I'm looking for the thumbs up emoji. Where the heck is the thumbs up emoji? Okay, whatever. Anyways, guys, let me get down here to the chat. I like Cardaniel too, man. Hitting the bearish breaker on Ethereum, dump it Vitalik, yes. So anyways, what would be, so we need kind of two levels of confirmation, right? We do get the buy signal over here, and this is actually a pretty good monthly buy signal because it's testing the 55 exponential moving average. Although if you had actually zoomed in, right? If you had actually zoomed in, you'd be a little cautious on taking a reversal against the trend. Why? Because you're underneath your baseline, right? You're actually closing below your secondary baseline, your confirmation baseline, and you're not sure if the monthly close is going to get rejected or not. Price does close back above, but then again, you want to take that BPC, right? That break, pull back, because you do end up pulling back. You can see the low of that monthly candle comes back and just taps your monthly 55 exponential moving average, and then you push up here to test your monthly 13. Now, if we go back to the last time price was below the monthly 13, what did we see? We saw a strong descending trend. Let's go back over here to current price. We see a strong descending trend, right? And we see price come back up, tap our monthly 13 exponential moving average, and then reject on the first pass, right? So we put in the buy signal right here. And again, it looks different, right? The candle structure does look different, but the signals are the same, right? We have a strong bearish trend. We bottom out. We put in a buy signal, right? We don't have enough data to generate a 55 monthly at that point in time. And then what happens? We go up, we have a little bit of a pullback, and then we move up for 2 months, tap our 13 and reject. And then it's not until the second breakout, the second test of resistance, that we actually go. Zuhair, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you for a few days. Donating the $5, my good friend. 1 hour buy signal followed by a retest of the Kumo cloud. Would you take a scalp long? I already took a scalp long. But we'll look at that here in just a second. Let me finish with the monthly, bro, and we'll go down and look at the hourly. So what is this basically telling us, right? This is just basic patience trend following stuff, right? Well, everybody's screaming that, you know, Bitcoin's going to do this or Bitcoin's going to do that. You don't have to involve yourself with any of that. You can just pull open a chart and set some rules. And as we can see here, that when price is interacting with the 13 exponential on the monthly chart, all you need to do is wait for 2 consecutive candle closes or 2 consecutive Heikin-Ashi candles to have a good entry in a long, right? It's just very risky to take a long on this time frame, right? And if you are projecting, if your fundamentals tell you that Bitcoin is going to go on a complete bullish tear, similar to what it did back in 2016 to 2018, or toward the end of 2017. Yeah, Tudis, let me get you. I'll get you right after the show, man. Okay, cool. But yeah, I just gotta click this button, and yeah, man, I believe this is it. Gotcha, brother. Let me get at you right after the show, my good friend. Eyes on the prize, keep it live. So just basic trend following strategy. You're waiting for 2 consecutive Heikin-Ashi closes or 2 consecutive candle closes above your baseline, and you're pretty good to go on the monthly chart, right? We don't have many instances that we can backtest, although I would assume, again, we can only start here, right? But when price is above our monthly 13, the force is strong with this one, right? We only have one historical example where we can actually see price interacting underneath the monthly 13. Although I would assume, because we just don't have enough data back here. We don't have enough data back here in time. So we'll see, right? One historical instance does not lead to a pattern. But again, things do rhyme, man. Things do rhyme. We can already see, trying desperately to close above the monthly, but it looks like the monthly is going to close underneath. So do we trade above? Tune in next time. We'll find out, okay? But again, get the buy signal, 2 candles of expansion, rejection. We didn't have our 55 back at that point in time, but it seems like we come back to test that, basically that same zone, right? Not the lowest of the low, not the low, right? We did put in a pretty significant low, and we did too here as well. But if this pattern did play out again, that would posit us returning to at least the $3,400, maybe the $3,700 level. Again, don't really have my eyes on those levels yet, but again, definitely want to see a retest of the 40. But we'll see, right? We'll see. Let's go into that hourly. Hourly giving us the sell signal right here on Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, that's Ethereum. All right, so we're on the hourly time frame. And what did you say, bro? You said 1 hour buy signal followed by a retest of the cloud. Would I take a scalp long? Right, so you're talking about the break above the cloud, prices pulling back to test the cloud. It's something that you try. It's something that you try. Looks like price is going to fail here. In fact, we're not there yet, but I'm close to exiting my long. Coming up on that level right now. We're going to see if it fails. Yep. $5 million in the sell. We could get the significant trades tracker if we want it up here, but it's too clunky on the screen. I've had it up here before, but it's clunky. G'day from 3:46 a.m. Start to the day cracking crypto. Cheers for videos. How do I get access to your locked indicators? Crypto Tiger, that's a fantastic question, man. You can check the banner at the top of the screen, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Everyone in the trading group gets access to all the indicators. They get access to our educational material, our private community. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. When we onboard people, it takes time. It takes time because there's resources to share. There's documents to share. There's access to share. And there will be a new one. Minx is almost done. All right, come on, baby. Let's see what happens. M19. M. Night Shyamalan. You know, it's times like these that make me think of like 300, right? It's, you know, it's kind of like, this is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where the bears die. Hold! I don't know if you guys were around back in 2016, but those memes were all over the place. Mr. Ether says, I wouldn't exit Ethereum today. I'm only watching, but I hear everything you say. Let's go check in with Mr. Ethereum. Not a big change over there, honestly. You know, what's interesting, Zuhair, too, is if this buy wall holds up, if the bulls do hold this level and we can get back above VWAP, then that would be very congruent as well with just your basic Ichimoku return to cloud test strategy. And keep in mind that if you take that trade, traditionally your stop loss is going to be below your Kijun, right? That's about a 1% loss. It's not bad. It's not a bad setup. I'm not going to betray myself that knows that strategies work out. Doesn't mean every trade is going to work out for you. No, it doesn't. I typically don't trade cloud breaks either. That's in there because I know a lot of people do. It's not really the way that I like to trade cloud breaks. I like to trade edge-to-edge trades for Ichimoku. And I also like to trade TK crosses on BPCs. That's my personal way. And I'm going to go over all that in the video coming out on Thursday. Stephen Hyatt. Nut. Go back over here to Tensor Charts. Come on, baby. Web dev news. Yeah, we were going to look at Ethereum. Crypto Tiger. Well, thank you, man. I think I am. Well, I think I like myself. Would I do you a special deal? So we just ran a promotion. We gave away 35 discounted slots. You're welcome to wait around for the next one if you want. I feel like I need to put some tunes on. But if you'd like some more information about what we do and what our group's like, you can, of course, check the description out at the top of the screen, or you can get a hold of us or any of the analysts or any of the moderators or admins in the Discord as well. VWAP is volume weighted average profile, right? And it is just a good indication. I mean, it's pretty much, I don't want to say it's a meme. It's not a meme. It's a very useful indicator, right? It's a good indicator of what is the average price that everybody's bought at, right? Because it's a moving average that's weighted by volume, right? So it's basically going to tell you what is the average price that all market participants have paid for Bitcoin today, that have bought at or sold at, right? So there's a couple ways to trade it. A lot of people, breakout traders are going to look at VWAP for if price gets above VWAP. You know, BPC, right? They're going to look for price to reclaim VWAP and then kick up higher, and they're going to try and catch that bullish push. If you're just looking to trade tight ranges, typically, if you're below VWAP, you're only looking to go long because you're looking to catch a reversal. Again, that's dangerous because you keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with reversal trading, but it's by nature riskier than trend trading. And if you're above VWAP, you're looking to go short, right? And, you know, I liked, you know, Bennett had a pretty good video where he put it a slightly different way. He said, basically, if you sell above VWAP, you've sold for a good price based on the day's range. And if you sell below VWAP, you've sold at a bad price. Similarly, if you can buy below VWAP and sell above VWAP, that's a good trade. Or sell below VWAP, or sell above VWAP and buy back below VWAP. It's a good trade. Versace line. You're funny, guys. Guys, thanks for watching on Twitch, man. Highly appreciate it. Yeah, let me get over here to the chat, man. Sorry, the chat on the live control room is auto-populating. Just give me a second here. Getting there, getting there. Oh, nut job. Oh, I see. Steve, hi. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Well, sorry, sir. I'm pretty cool, man. I'm pretty cool, my good dude, but certain things I'm just not going to mess with. So, yeah, I'm not going to ban you, but you're going to get hidden on the channel. Thank you, Rob Star. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see here. Waiting for some Gox coins too, man. Yeah. 5,300 SML. Price at 5,300. Something's happening. Dude, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch. No, I got you, man. I am, man. You can't do this. You can't do this all the time and not have a good sense of. I guess some people are, man. I don't know. I like to have fun with this. One little thing. Maybe it's part of having a young child. Go take a look at Deribit. All right. Make this a little bit easier for you guys to see. We'll go to higher precision. Bring that opacity down there a little bit. And do it like that. I think I prefer to do it like that. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. There we go. All right. We got going on over here. Last minute, nothing but buying. Last hour, mostly selling. Sorry, last 5 minutes. I would say order book's way more chunkier to the buy side, coming out of that 52.20, which is the level that I want to hold to the intraday. If we lose 52.20, I'll be out of the long. Yeah, I got some messages, you know, people, basically when all this happened, people were like, man, we got to buy, we got to buy, we got to buy. No, 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 no. Wait for the pullback. Yeah, what's interesting is that excuse me, the VWAP is calculated by take off standard deviation. Sometimes that's helpful, but that's actually pretty helpful. It just depends. It's not the strategy that I trade with. But anyways, the VWAP that's default on Deribit and the VWAP that is calculated by Tensor Charts is different, which is interesting. But I digress. You can see there wasn't a large trade here either. See, what I really would like to see for this to be a bottom, so this is what does concern me a little bit, is that there wasn't, you see how we've got these bubbles that indicate large sells, large buys and large sells. And typically when you see those, you really want to see those at a level of support or a level of resistance, right? So, you know, if we can go back, if we can kind of go back in time, we can see that this high right here, it's not going to let me. But anyways, this high right here, and we can see it over here on the lower time. Yes, we can see right here that this was liquidity, right? So you guys will recall if you guys go back and look at the chart from yesterday, this had a red X here because this was liquidity that was untapped. And that's a very, very, very good strategy for reversal trading, right? Is to look for levels of liquidity that have been untapped and look to short from there. Right? So you're looking for equal lows, you're looking for equal highs, you're looking for untapped levels of liquidity, because that's where a lot of stop losses are going to be, especially your range high, right? Especially your range high on the first attempt, going to get absolutely licked, right? So we had this nice shot up, we had this nice shoot up, got all the shorts liquidated. We had this big steep pullback, got everybody that longed at the top liquidated. Now all we're looking for, I mean, this is very simple. We're looking for support to hold, right? We're looking for support to hold. If support holds, then we're going to move up. If support breaks, then we're back to consolidation. And this was just a test. This was just a stop loss hunt. Doesn't mean, just because you have a stop loss hunt doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to move violently in the other direction. It doesn't happen that way. You know, Bitcoin can continue to go sideways for a few days. And if that does happen, then we'll probably see, again, some more altcoin expansion. Because if we go over and look at, yeah, everything's pumping, man. Everything's pumping, right? I heard Mt. Gox funds got held back to 2020 or something. Let's see here. Mt. Gox Bitcoin stash won't move until 2020. You know, guys, trustee blames large amount of claims. Guys, listen, man. I mean, don't worry. Like we would pay all of you back if there just wasn't so many of you to pay back. Like, can we just keep some of the Bitcoins? Some of them, like half of them? The previous cutoff point was scheduled for Friday this week, but Kobayashi acknowledged that volume and complexity of users' claims meant such a time frame was insufficient. What is up with these? You know, I just can't stand this stuff, dude. Like, when I people are just so full of shit, man. And the more money people have, generally, the more full of shit they are. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get that done for you by 5 o'clock. Well, sir, it's 6 p.m. tomorrow. It's just this kind of stuff right here, you know, like he says, so, you know, like he's got a cutoff date of Friday and then he comes out the day of or whatever, or like a week, the week before. And he's like, listen, guys, it's just too complex. Couldn't get it done. We couldn't have asked for help or gotten our technology better before this time. Yes, Mt. Gox, where's our money? Rest in peace, brave fallen soldier. In particular, Andy Pag complained about an ownership bid by CoinLab, which previously claimed it is owed $16 billion, an amount which would dwarf others' entitlements to funds. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, if I think they should give the Bitcoins back, I don't think they should give the dollar valuation back, which is, I think what's fair. I don't even know why they even bring the USD value into it, because it's very simple, right? Like, you don't have to make it that complicated. Just give the goddamn Bitcoins back. Building a sell plan between 25,000 and 200,000 with remainder of 13.5 coins. Are you talking about Bitcoin? Because if so, that's awesome, dude. You're like, look, man, I'll see you at 25K. Dad 2 to 3 says, what percentage we go up versus down in the short term? I'm feeling pretty good about it right now, man. Feeling pretty bullish right now. But that's just on the intraday. So let's go look at the higher time frames. Higher time frames. Higher time frames, the day needs to close for us to take a trade. And actually, we can't take a trade. We're going to need another open and close above this daily 13. We need to open and close above our baseline, and then I'll feel bullish. Then I'll be scaling into a larger position. But right now, daily time transformation is nowhere near the zero line, giving us a cross up. But again, that could be a false signal. Well, not a false signal. It's a reversal signal. But again, we're not getting a buy signal. Why? Because we're well above the oversold level. So even though time transformation is very sensitive, we're not getting any kind of buy signal. We're not getting any kind of trending signal right now. Wada Tar is waning bearish momentum, which could be an early sign of waning bearish momentum. Of course, that's what it is, right? But we haven't flipped bullish. We just need more time, man. I'm not going to be the dude that's I do none of that buy the dip type stuff. A lot of people do that. Listen. So here's the thing, right? Everybody that's saying you can buy the dip on lower time frames. So let me give you an example. I'll do it later because I don't want to break her out because I've got her in beta phase right now. But Minx, for example, like Minx is designed to buy dips, to buy pullbacks in a bull market, right? So when price is above the baseline, you buy dips, right? You buy pullbacks to the baseline, you buy pullbacks to significant levels of support and resistance. On lower time frames, if you get bullish crossovers on time transformation, for example, because it works really well in the 3 hour, works really well in the 15-minute too, then you look to take those trades. But when price is below your baseline, like all this buying the dip nonsense, that's what everybody tried to do, like here and 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 here. And all those people are, they're not around anymore, most of them. Like Bitcoin goes parabolic for long periods of time. And during that entire period, you buy pullbacks and you just enjoy the ride. And when Bitcoin goes into a bear market, you just don't buy pullbacks, right? Now, it looks like we're in a pretty bullish market state right now. Everybody's like poised on the verge of destruction, right? And I'm definitely prepared for that movement to the downside. But Charles Breslin says, I only know my claim has been approved. That's awesome, man. No idea of when or what in any payout of Gox bankruptcy. The trend is your friend down. Right now, the trend is undecided because the trend was to the downside. Now we're flirting around with the trend line. We're flirting around with the baseline. The key will be the close of the monthly at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, it depends on what kind of weight you want to put around that because so here's the monthly time frame. Sorry, we have our daily EMAs right here. But my point is, so that's BitMEX actually. So we just looked at that monthly time frame on Bitstamp, and it would seem to suggest that if price does close below the EMA, then that would be a rejection from resistance. Then again, what if we start trading above that 13 monthly EMA? So this is pretty good for giving you general long-term direction. But that doesn't really make, again, I'm more of an active trader, right? Because again, any decent trend following strategy is going to produce more results than just buy and hold. It's all that reversal against the trend stuff that gets you in trouble. But anyways, I would not have liked to bot up here and still be holding. I would not have liked to bot here and still be holding down here. I would have preferred to sell here, bought in somewhere around here, sell here. And I'll wait until price is somewhere around here to buy. Well, except for the trade that I just took. But keep in mind, that's a scalp, right? So we're doing something very, very particular, right? Very asymmetric risk to reward type setup. If Bitcoin can close tonight on the monthly over 5,300, that would be great. That would be really great because my profit target would be hit. I expect to buy steak and beer using Bitcoin sometime in the future. You already can, bro. Kobayashi also quit that job. Large amount of claims like it's a natural disaster set by a mad god. Dad 2 to 3 says basically a monthly close above 5,300 is what we're looking for. Then what if 50 to 50 further south? Yeah, see, like, you know, so in general, what you want to see is consecutive closes or an open and close above a trend line, right? For example, to be really confident in your position, or if you're just looking at that moving average, or you're doing what I do, which is where you're not just looking at what indicator is doing, you're looking at what other indicators are telling you, because that's how you develop a system. Thank you, Henry Weinecker. I highly appreciate that. Ginseng Rathor, dent movement, big green, buy now, dent. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Well, in here, sir. Here, sir, we'll not have any of that pump and dumpery in here. If somebody's screaming to buy a shitcoin, it's probably already too late. Go down and see what happened, because that's like a little bit of... Say, what? All right, so dent went up 60% in 6 hours? 8 hours? Now you want me to buy? What paid group leader sent you over here, man? Get out of here. Listen, I'm not... Oh, look at this. This is pretty nice. I haven't looked at this chart of dent in a while. It's like the whales know right where to set their sell limit orders, right? Look at that trend line. You guys know how I feel about trend lines, but that's a pretty damn good one, right? Like, you know, 60% of the time they work every time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, coffee break for sure, guys. It is 1:10, man. Give me a couple moments to go get some coffee, guys. Let me go grab a cup of coffee. When I get back, we'll take a look at Eli. Dude, I'm so sorry, man. I feel like I make everybody wait. Like, I'm such a jerk, dude. And I was like looking at other stuff, dude. I just, right? So anyways, when we get back, Eli, we're gonna look at X Haven for you, dude. Hey, Eli's like, fuck this guy. I'm gonna go watch somebody else. We'll look at Haven for you, man. We'll also look at Bitcoin to the Korean won, Bitcoin to the Japanese yen, and yeah, Kofefe. Yeah, we're gonna go get some Kofefe, and anything else that you guys might want to look at, guys. So be safe, trade good, of course. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for hanging in there. We're going to throw on some chill tunes, man. Let me turn this down just a little bit. There we go. And there we go. Something a little chill. Hopefully you guys like the tunes. Let me know in the chat. Okay, where were we? What were we doing? We tried to sucker us into this dent right here. Okay, so let's talk objectively, right? So objectively, were we following this on a daily trend following strategy? That might be a good stab in the dark, right? You know, these aren't really the things that I like to play around with, these really low sat coins. But, you know, again, you're breaking above your daily baseline right there. You did get initial rejection from your 55, so you could expect another test. But when you see stuff like this, you know, kind of very relative to cryptocurrency, you just know that this was pump and dumped. And so you know that a lot of people bought at these levels, and any retreat back into those zones, they're going to be looking to sell, right? Just as you probably saw, any people that bought during this zone right here, they're just looking to get out at break even or a slight profit, man. Thank you all, Infinity. Got a t-shirt coming your way too. Let's get back over to Bitcoin. Look at those millions that are just spoofing on and off the books, man. All right, the old BitMexico. Yeah, this wick too, by the way, was pretty much across all major exchanges. It was on ByBit, it was on Deribit, it was on BitMEX, obviously. So one of the nice things, and one of the reasons why I'm not trading Bitcoin massively on BitMEX anymore, and why I've moved over to ByBit, is because there's way less of those whack-noodle wicks. That's one reason. But the big reason is because there is legitimate manipulation on that exchange. You know, manipulation is going to happen on any exchange that you get into. It's just kind of the nature of the game. Trading is a zero-sum game. Somebody has to buy at a bad price for you to sell at a good price, and somebody has to sell at a bad price for you to buy at a good price. That's just that simple. But the reality of the situation is, on ByBit and Deribit, they don't lock the system down intentionally so that retail traders can't execute positions while the whales are making their move. Because you're going to see, you know, like there's a good example is if we go over here. Let's pull open the hourly chart on BitMEX. And that's what we're working on. We're working on research that actually shows this, but we can see over here, right? And I'd have to increase the counter. But on this candle right here, you can see about 5 million sold right here and 5 million bought back right here, okay? To give you a good example of basically what we're talking about, right? And during that time, the system was locked out. Right? If you were a retail trader, you couldn't enter and exit a position. And that's intentional. It's so that very large pockets can take the safest of the safe trades, right? You know, large contracts, 1% profit over and over and over again. That's all they need to do. Jeremy Bai says, well, it's not a Treyu, but it will do. Hey, I really like the Curse album. That's a good one. Zerp Mooned. It's like it's testing resistance to me, sir. This is mooning, right? When something goes on a nice bullish tear for a while, that's mooning. But, you know, ever since that happened, like this, you know, I don't know what you want to call it. Like this chart looks like an exit scam, right? You know, because it's like in this downtrend like everything else, and then it randomly whack-a-noodle pumps out of nowhere, and then it's just, you know, pretty much down since there, man. And, you know, like we can look at ZERP BTC, right? Let's just look at ZERP BTC since the last one, right? And this is the last analysis of ZERP that I did for the members. You can see that we actually have from the last bear cycle lasted 147 days, and then we had expansion, and so we've just plotted out into the future what's 147 bars from the top to potential bottom, right? And we've got this bullish order block all the way down below us between 40, like let's just say 4,000 to 4,500 sats, right? So either that area or a shift in market structure which would be a break of the trend line, potentially even waiting for a 13 over the 55 cross, is where we'd be looking to enter, because you don't just V bottom out of this, right? Well, I mean, it's possible with ZERP because you V bottom out and just go on this random whack-a-noodle pump, right? V bottom out and go on a random whack-a-noodle pump. But still, almost never do you just go from straight down to straight up. You have to consolidate, you have to accumulate, you have to bring in new buyers, positions have to be established. So this is not Moon, man. This is a reactionary bottom buy. And it was the first one that's actually been pretty decent, right? Because we have a buy signal here that was kind of good. Bad buy signal, bad buy signal, bad buy. So this one might have been okay. Bad buy signal. And this one was finally a good one. But if you bought up here, maybe you took a loss right here. Maybe you didn't want to sit through 3 days of drawdown. Make, 3% profit. Stacking Stoner, thanks so much, man. Good to see you, brother. And Keith Durang. Yeah, we're going to take a look at Ethereum, then we're going to get to X-Haven. So let's get on with the request, guys. Sorry, that's one of the few days that I actually have a short-term position in Bitcoin open. So keeping my eyes on that and trying to give you guys my thoughts. Because most of you guys haven't seen me day trade, so. Because I don't do, that's not true. I do a frequent amount of day trading, but I'm more concerned with longer-term swing positions. Sorry, I got my water in the way. Oh, by the way, guys, I don't know if I mentioned to you, but I've heard the requests. Yes, we are, and I talked about this the other night, but Sally is getting retired, right? I've got, people are messaging me like, hey, man, your chair sucks, man. You need to get a new chair. This chair is awesome, by the way. It's been with me for a long time. I've made lots of money in this chair. But yes, it is time. It is time. The sides are falling off. So I bought a new chair last night. Should be here by Friday. So hopefully you guys will see that. Yeah, it's got all the bells and whistles on it. It's one of those fancy gaming chairs. That's just what everybody seems to have. So we'll see how it works out. We'll see if it does better than Sally. Sally's not going in the trash though. Sally's gonna get probably kicked into the closet. And if if Robert doesn't work out, which might be the new chair, then Sally's coming back out. But we'll see. Can't wait to get out of XRP, mate. I don't blame you, dude. And remember, guys, during the bear market, we don't ask when moon. We ask when pump, dude. When pump. Hashtag buy the chair. Thanks, man. Yeah, the requests have been filled, man. I got some good recommendations, so hopefully it works out. Some of those, some chairs are hit and miss, man. All right, let's go take a gander at Ethereum. We'll start with spot and then we'll work our way down. So honestly, not a whole lot's changed for me. This actually isn't looking too bad. Price is coming up and testing resistance and consolidating here nicely after initial rejection. I would expect to see a little bit more of a pullback, but so far the markets don't look too bad right now, guys. The markets do look a little healthy. I do like these tests. Now you don't want to get overly euphoric because it's just an initial test of resistance, but bulls coming in showing their fair. I mean, this is a nice strong candle. This is a fully bullish engulfing candle. And you do have to pay a little bit of heed to that, man, because when it's coming out of consolidation, that's a pretty healthy sign of bullish strength. Now we just need to see if the bulls hold their position. So let's go to the daily here on Ethereum. Daily here on Ethereum, we did hold the 55 exponential moving average. We traded down into our bullish breaker right here. Traded down into our bullish breaker, right? Because this was our bearish order block, rejected price, price broke through cleanly, and we've had multiple pullbacks into our breaker, right? We grabbed this liquidity right here below this low, and now all we need to do for a trending buy is to get back above our baseline and for our indicators to reset, right? So no trending buy on the table yet. Obviously, we're still below our baseline, so based on that, not looking to go long. When we would get a signal like that, we would be expecting to see higher highs. Looking at this on the reversal time frame, again, good buys in the bearish order block. Still have my short open from 166. So nothing super crazy to do here, man. We've already taken most of our profit on that. I only have what 25% of that position left, so we'll see. And then last night, the guys that had entered, I told anybody last night, anybody that entered between 156 and 158 off this liquidity grab, so on here on BitMEX, anybody that entered from 156 to 158, if they hadn't taken profit yet, to set their stop loss at break even and most likely take some profit. And I said that at exact the same time last night that I said, hey guys, let's get out of this XBT short. And I'm glad we did. Kazelka says, hey, what's going on, man? I heard from you many times praising of other exchanges, and I agree with you. But do I think that BitMEX can be paradoxically better for catching wicks and hunting for us? Thanks. I think that if you can come up with a good strategy on BitMEX, then much power to you. That's something that I'm working on right now. I'm trying to actually play the whales games against them. And again, I'm having a lot of help with that. So looking at some of the data based on lower time frames, looking at how the whales move, looking at real order book data. Again, we now have access to information that's currently better than what Tensor Charts and Addis offers. It's just not as easy to use. So it's just pretty much raw, hardcore programmatic data. And we're working on processing that. But yeah, then if you can devise a limit, if you can go in ahead of time and devise a limit order strategy or have a bot that can basically fairly frequently update all your limit order positions to scalp within a good range, the same range that the whales are scalping in, then I think you'll do fine. But I think most people that are going in and thinking that they're going to be able to catch wicks and trade like institutional order flow, I think that most of those people are, and some of them will, because again, I'm friends with some of them that just do amazing work on BitMEX. But the reality is when most people start down the altar of price action, when most people start down that road, they don't get the results that they want at the end of the year. That most of them don't, because it just kind of comes hand. Now again, there are some people that can do it and pull it off quite nicely, but most beginners who go down that path do not do well. Do not do well. Because in my opinion, it's starting off in the wrong direction. You want to build, as a beginner trader, you want to build a strong baseline strategy that you're going to have to manually trade for the rest of your life. Typically, you're going to want to start with a trend following strategy that lets you capture good moves and that gives you confidence as a trader. And then you can start, once you've got your main account down, your main account locked down on what you want to do, because you, for the most time, if price is going up, you want to be long, and if price is going down, you want to be short. It's that simple. And then you can get a little bit more advanced, you know, when you've got your baseline strategy figured out and that's keeping you in the green, then you can go down and do some lower time frame scalping, some high risk, high reward stuff. And you can look to offset that with your main account or with hedges. But I think that most people who go down that, because I talk to so many people who just think that that's how they're going to trade, you know, like I'm working with a student right now. I'm trying to really desperately beat that out of his head. Like he hasn't done a lot of trading before. He's good. He's got a good eye. But he's really got it in his head that the way to trade is this, I got to redo this chart, that the way to trade is this, you know, higher, you know, lower time frame reversals, high risk, high reward setups. And again, it's just my experience that doesn't typically work out for most people. That's already been tagged. So let's get rid of that. That was the stop loss for the initial short. See where we got in on the initial short. Basically just the pullback off this close. Yeah, so not a whole lot to do right now. So you know, we do have price coming up into the bearish breaker, right? So you want to be cautious, man. You want to be cautious, right? You know, as far as reversal off the 55, price looks pretty good. I think the good reversal play is obviously to short tests of resistance until you cleanly break through resistance. So I still think there's lots of good intraday short scalps right here, especially tagging this level of liquidity right here, which I actually don't think has been tagged. No, we actually haven't tagged it yet. It was a good test. So I would be on the lookout. So I'd be on the lookout for an up thrust above this level, above this liquidity, and then most likely to take price down. And then if we can, after that liquidity is grabbed, if the bulls hold a higher level of support, then that looks pretty good, right? Then that looks pretty good. I'd be cautious right now, throwing your all into Ethereum. Patience. So this is going to be the third consecutive lower high on Bitcoin's price. I'm in a little bit of profit right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my profit on this one. Have I or have I not considered holding some BSV in case of a black swan event? No, I've never even thought of that. I had to break down and buy a desk that I can raise and lower. Now I never even use my chair anymore. I'm always standing up. I would love to do that. That's probably the better investment, honestly. I need to get a better desk. Right on to the sunset, Sally. 1% a day is good or better or best, Justin? Thoughts? That's pretty much that's the holy grail of day trading. Johnny Valentine, you gotta go to your YouTube channel and copy paste the link to your YouTube channel in there, and then they verify that you are a subscriber of mine. All right. We looked at Ethereum. Haven Protocol from Mr. Eli. He's cursing my name right now. Let's see, has anything played out the way that we wanted it to? All these darn squiggly lines. Well, I think the last time we talked, you said your average buy-in was 8,500. Let's see, the first scenario we talked about was back here, obviously. We said if the daily closes above, so we can delete this one because that never happened. We've been talking about that for a while. Price did not close above. Otherwise, we were looking for the 55 exponential moving average to hold. What do we see here on this candle? A big upthrust, like that, big upthrust. Or it hasn't been that long since we've been looking at this. It was back here on the 19th of April when we looked. Had to have been. Yeah, so I mean, the last time we talked, man, was, I believe, was right here, right? And, you know, we had this beautiful upthrust, and I said I wanted price to hold this zone right here. Came down, closed the daily right here, and then closed the daily below. And this was when we should have been out. When price lost this level, man, because you have this bullish break, you have this bearish order block. It gets broken. It's now a bullish breaker. You want price to come back and hold it, right? And then get that kickoff, right? So BPC, break, pullback, continuation. That didn't happen. You closed below your invalidation level. It actually gave you a nice pump to get out on, though. Nice 10% pump to get out of more profits. It's just been down to the downside. Now you do got a daily hammer candle, but that doesn't really mean anything. You know, just because it's a hammer doesn't mean you're going to see bullish evaluation. It did get bought up, but at this point in time, so okay, so just to be realistic, if we're still holding on to Haven, But this is just notes for the future, right? And again, your strategy is your own strategy, but just the way that I would look at this, if because I laid out what my strategy would have been back here. So as soon as this happened, if I'm still holding here, I'm not upset at myself, but I know that I've made an error, right? You know what I'm saying? Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Oh, what's up with this? Kind of like a funky song. Like some trap hop stuff would be good. Bull run, bro. 1,000 lots. So yeah, man, the time to exit was right here. So if we're still holding on, I mean, if we're still holding on to the trade from back here, average entry of 8,500, you're still in some pretty good profits, man, on Haven Protocol. Alex says, please help us cover the 800 million we lost and give us some extra on the side. We appreciate that. What am I missing, guys? Yeah, Bitfinex is planning on an exchange. Oh, we got to pull this up. I heard about this morning, but this is the first tweet from that old boy posted for me. So yeah, Bitfinex is planning an exchange token sale / initial exchange offering. They plan to raise $1 billion in USDT. This is really a what the fuck situation. Folks are selling the allocation of its shilling the allocation of its IO in a few channels. I was super skeptical at first, but later confirmed by one of the BFX equity shareholders. If it's a fraud, then don't be scammed. If it's not a fraud, then WTF. Bitfinex, please comment and clarify. I just don't see how this can be sustainable. It won't make Tether fully backed again unless they distribute profit / new fund raised back to the Tether reserve. Bitfinex has already securitized plus tokenized its future cash flow for their last hack. This is another layer of leverage on top. Between Bitfinex, Binance, and BitMEX, what are we even doing? Bitfinex! Yeah, baby. So there you have it, guys. Yeah, man, I wouldn't want to be in this coin. This daily hammer doesn't really impress me. I mean, you can hold on to it, but listen, man, if you get a second consecutive close below the daily 55, you got to be out, man. You got your secondary buy zone back down here. Retested the bullish breaker, right? Bullish breakers have about a 50% chance of holding on the second test, right? You got about a 70 to 80% chance of holding on the first, right? Through my back testing. So that's why I trade breakers. That's, again, when you're looking at price action analysis, that's one of the few methods that I do like. So reversals within the trend, bueno. Raw reversals, I like to trade breakers. Are these copyright tunes? No. Nope, we pay for the royalty-free stuff. Although I think we got a copyright strike the other day that I need to combat. For playing Naomi Brockwell. That was my bad. So I need to tell the YouTube overlords, like, chill, brah. It's not even a thing, right? All right, BTC Korean won. This actually looks worse. You know, what's interesting is that unlike the BTC USD price, Bitcoin Korean won did hold your daily baseline for a while before closing below, and this is just a back test and rejection until it's not. But this is a rejection from resistance until it's not. Right, yeah. So, yeah, we can play copyright stuff, but I'm not going to be taking... I don't want to have to take my live streams down every day, so... It's worth it, man. You know, we pay like a monthly fee for this royalty-free music. Grab the glow. Like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night. We gotta get some Mo Bamba on here then, man. Yeah, see, this is just a little too much, man. I've seen some other streams, right, where they're just straight chilling, right, looking at these charts, and it's like, dumps, dumps, dumps. I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, how can you even get down? Like, that music doesn't calm me out. I meditate before I start trading in the day. Okay, so daily time frame for BTC KRW. Yeah, just you were holding your daily baseline, broke down below. Rejection from resistance currently. Time transformation trending below zero. Time transformation also doing this, or excuse me, what it's our time transformation also. We got this thing doing a thing and this thing down here doing a thing. Oh yeah, the hex snapshot. You guys have fun with that. I don't know anything about it. But Wadatar also signaling bearish momentum, so it's basically just keeping you out of any long. All right, but so is price action. Price action is also keeping you out of a long. Go down to the 3 hour right here. Yeah, 3 hour was an interesting test. Was an interesting test of resistance. On the Korean won, kind of similar to Bitcoin as well. Like, it doesn't overall look too bad, but you want price to get back above this baseline. You want to do a nice BPC. You want to reclaim it. Sean Trotter, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Great. BitMEX offering a dog turd. Yeah, I mean, you know, some things are just like so stupid, man. Listen, there are going to be people, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, because there's opportunities for profit all over the place, especially in cryptocurrency, right? Like, where else? Let's go take a look at one of Da Vinci's calls, right? All right, so Da Vinci caught this whole move, right? Da Vinci got, what, pulled like 30% out of this bad boy? Something like that, right? But I know he bought the dip. Da Vinci bought the dip on this, timed it beautifully. Great job, Da Vinci. And this dude, so what I'm trying to say is there's opportunities for profits anywhere, like even in the latest IEO shitcoin from Binance, right? And people are gonna say, oh man, like you're missing out on this, that, and the third. Listen, I trade for a lifetime. You know, I'm looking to trade until I'm old and gray. Sean, I appreciate that, man. I actually am on Twitch right now. Twitch.tv/Cracking Cryptocurrency. Or sorry, no. It's twitch.crackingcryptocurrency.com or twitch.tv/Cracking Crypto. Do I use Addis? So no, not in my day-to-day trading. It's something that I've downloaded and installed and played with. But to be honest with you, it's not part of my daily trading. I like it because I used to do jigsaw trading back on traditional markets when I used to trade like mini futures, and S&P lots. And there's order book trading. Order flow trading is great. It's a little bit subjective, but you can quantify it. There's definitely good ways to trade it. And I know some people that are absolute beasts with Addis in particular. It's just, to be quite honest, it's something that I don't have the time and patience to dedicate to. It's not, has nothing to do with patience. I don't have the time to dedicate to it right now. I got too much going on. Maybe when I got my, maybe when I've completely finished the Trading Crypto 101 series that I'm working on, and I finish the next few monthly courses, which I still have a bunch of videos left to shoot, a bunch already done. And I finish upgrading Time Transformation, then I'll probably sit down and play with it. Well, thanks, Sean. I appreciate that, man. The spot is wide open for the taking. I only use Addis when I flat planes. Bitcoin, Japanese yen. Well, let's keep it. Okay, so we'll just look at Bitflyer. Japanese seem a little bit more bullish, man. Break, pull back. Looking for that up thrust right here. Go back over here to Tensor charts. Bitcoin putting in some of that bullish potential right there. Oh, well, I'm glad I got out with a small profit. I didn't want to take that risk. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Potential lower high. So now we'll wait. We'll see if we can reclaim VWAP. Air traffic awareness session. Is that the blue stuff you tip your combs in? It's a program that measures order flow, right? It's a good way to look at. It's basically this, like on Tensor charts. It's basically the order book, but way more advanced, or not more advanced, but just more in-depth information. Well, that is a little whack-a-noodle, Johnny. We'll see if that becomes a pattern. Let me know, man. Hit me up in the Discord and let me know how it plays out. All right, 10 minutes left in the show, guys. Is there anything else we want to look at? They're not going to raise rates. I would be, well, I don't want to say that for sure, but they've been so dovish on raising rates, man. And I mean, the stock market is being held up by Kleenex right now, man. Bimba Bitcoin. Whoa. No bueno, man. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Kind of similar to, I believe, Yeah, our beloved bat. You know, I was looking for that BPC to take that bat trade. Didn't happen. Closed below our baseline. Similar for Mr. Binbo over here. Holding the baseline, give it the benefit of the doubt. Next place I'm interested in is a retest of our bullish breaker down here and our secondary baseline, our daily 55. Unless we can get back above this and have 2 consecutive closes, then maybe we can get back in the trend. This is pretty pumping music right here. Blockchain gains, of course, man. Thoughts on Mark Whistler's work on VT? I don't even know what you're talking about, man. BNB Blue Sky? Not yet, man. BNB Oost? Nah, man. This is actually colored wrong. I need to redo the USDT chart. I guess, listen. Okay, so you do have this, yeah. Because I just redid this yesterday, or the other day when somebody asked me to look. So you are inside the bullish breaker, right? And remember what I said, bullish breakers, 70 to 80% of the time they hit on the first pass through, right? Drops to about 50% on the second, right? So you got a couple conflicting factors here. You're in the bullish breaker, you got about a 50% chance of this making a play. I mean, it already made a play because you could have bought, you know, scaled into the bullish breaker to have an average entry here and then look to take profit on your retest of resistance. But you're also closing below your daily baseline and you're back testing and rejecting from it so far, right? So far, that's what's happening. All right. Back tested, rejected from resistance. Let's see if we can get a close above this level of resistance. No problem, Jürgen. LRC, BTC. Get that little bit of looper going on, man. No bueno, man. See how beautiful that works out? Let's go back over here to our last consolidation period. And what is the highest candle that gets significant rejection from, right? Rejection, 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 rejection. Finally here you break cleanly above it. This becomes a bullish breaker. It's no longer a bearish order block. You buy pullbacks into that zone until it's disrespected. And now it's a bearish order block again, right? Continual rejection. So let's see if we can get a breakout of this. So something like, so I need to see price above this. I really want to see price above our baseline too. So test of the baseline, rejection. hold this level, and then we might look to take a trade. Scale in once you break the baseline. Nothing down here. No problem, man. All right, let's get back over here to Bitcoin real quick. Good daily candle so far, guys. Good daily candle. Nice strong candle on the 12-hour. We'll see how the daily closes. If we can get the day, if we can get the daily closing above the trend line, or excuse me, if we can get the daily closing above the baseline, then we start to get one step closer to a trending long, right? And if we get those trending long signals, we take the chance on a new high, right? Which would be really positive for Bitcoin, right? We've got this bullish order block. We can see that price did respect it quite well. So let's see. Kind of weird that happened, but anyways, and we do have this now. Okay. So we do got our bearish order block that we want to be careful. We want to be careful if we take this trending long. We want to be careful for the reversal trade within this zone, right? 53.87 to 55.32. Okay. So potential profit taking zone, area to look for shorts. And by all rights, you're not wrong to look to target this area to put in shorts, but it's not what I'm going to be doing right now. I'm gonna wait and see how the daily candle closes. I might take another scalp long here in a little bit. Let's go over here to tensor charts and see what's going on in the lower time frames. I want to see us reclaim VWAP. Still have the potential right here for a lower high, even though VWAP's tilting up. Nah. Arrow doesn't look too bad, man. Potential W pattern. You guys know how I feel about patterns, but I'd have low expectations on this one though, man. Only shoot for like 3 to 5% profit if you're gonna take this. It's not a nice double. It's not a bad double bottom trade. Lower high though, but See if we can get this high or low up out of here, or push it above. The daily doesn't look great, but yeah, we'll see what we can get out of this. Get any divergence? No, didn't get any divergence. So you just want to be really careful, you know, trying to buy the dip. You know, prices move. Yeah, just be cautious, man. Potential for a 3 to 5% trade on there. Price can come up here and tag our daily baseline. But we're gonna need a few days for this thing to get. We're gonna need a while for this thing to get nice and bullish, man. Look how long it consolidates, and if we start consolidating, then we can take range trades. I need to see a high, low, and I need to see support form. But this, when price is just falling, I'm not trying to catch a knife. No, I mean, there's higher likelihood of the candle closing like this and having more downside than the candle, I don't know, than the candle closing like this and the upside. You got your bearish breaker coming up above 123, 125 sats. So maybe that'll be your take profit too. Price gets a little bit above the daily baseline. Maybe a 5 to 7% trade. And if we get back above the bearish breaker, then we can talk. But yeah, I don't really like the way it looks. Thank you. It's hard. I highly appreciate that, guys. All right, guys, let's head over to the thingy, guys. So price of Bitcoin looks pretty good, guys. I think the intraday trade is most likely going to be to the upside. Be careful of those pockets of liquidity for potential short entries as well. Overall price looks pretty good. I'll be looking to pick up another scalp long should everything continue quite nicely. It's going to take a little bit more time for me to want to develop a long-term position to the upside. So, and that's just my personal strategy. So we'll work on that, guys, and we will keep you updated, of course. And that's about all I got, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Of course, I've been Justin Wise for CrackingCryptocurrency.com. If you'd like to follow along with our trades, if you'd like to have access to our private community, all the fun stuff that comes along with that, you guys can check the link at the top of the screen or all the links down in the bottom of in the description as well. We've got a lot of stuff, a lot of material. You can find us on TradingView. You can check out our indicators there as well. We'll be publishing some new ones coming up here pretty soon. Look forward to my video coming out on Thursday, the new Trading Crypto 101 video on how to trade Ichimoku. My personal take on it, I think I bring a lot of nuance to the table because I did used to trade and still do trade Ichimoku quite frequently. So anyways, guys, that's about all I've got. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, leave them in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys trade safely, and hopefully today's show has helped crack cryptocurrency for you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.